No one on the set over the last 45 years knows what the picture in your head is.
There's always been that problem of like, what you see in here, how do you get it there? How do you get it on a set? How do you get it through, you know, the weather and even on a soundstage? How do you get it? How do you create what you have in your thought, in your mind's eye? It's almost like a painter, you know. How does he or she get that from here onto the canvas? I have in mind a town, not a village, not a city, a kind of gnarled, old, almost medieval town in the Caucasus, let's say. Even the streets are narrower, cobblestoned. The main road through the town is twisting and turning, maybe over small hills. Yeah, this is getting there. Look at that. That's it.
Does that kind of look like it?
Yeah, even narrower.
Even narrower, okay.
Street.
Is even narrower. Okay.
The driver would be, again, very Eastern European, almost like someone you'd find in the street there, older. Well, he'd probably be in his 40s, but he would look like he's in his 60s. Longish hair. It's almost the ideal would always be to make a film like in your private room, in a way. And you create the picture, in a sense, and that's finally translated to, 50 people on the crew, 100 people on the crew, and it becomes alive. But you do have that control of making the film rather than doing it solely through verbal language.
Right.
This conveys a cinematic intelligence, not necessarily painting, not necessarily literature. It's cinema. So that's the great thing about this tool.
It was a single tracking shot.
Yeah.
It was the most complicated shot I'd ever seen. I was there.
But the thing about it, too, is how ultimately it's revealed that he's seated at a table right up front. He's like royalty. There are at least maybe 10 or 12 moments in that sequence that are little vignettes. And we had to stage the vignettes and then figure out where the lights were for those vignettes, where they come down the stairs, go past the guy eating a sandwich, and they go into another area. Somebody else passes by, he says hello. And how we got from vignette to vignette, it had to be worked out physically. Of course, it still is the case, but if you have a tool like this, you could figure it out much quicker. And you could save production time and also less wear and tear on the crew. He's like royalty. So the camera has to convey that he's led into the inner sanctum, especially. And that's something you can't really describe. You got to see it.
Got to see it.
And that's what we're talking about.
Got to see
cinematic intelligence. That's got to be. It can't be spoken about. You feel it as you're doing it.
It's so cool. I wish the world had been able to give you these tools 20 years ago.
Yeah, I know. I mean, we would have been probably on schedule.